What is up, bros and broettes? I'm Inkslasher, and today we got a new patch for Call of Duty Black Ops 4. Now, if you're playing on Xbox or PC, this patch has a lot more in it, but if you're playing on PS4, it's mainly a weapons update patch and a pretty big nerf patch to score streaks, but we'll talk about that in a minute. As far as if you are on Xbox or PC, today you are getting the new Nuketown map. On top of that, you are getting the update that adds zombies to Nuketown in Blackout, and then finally you are getting the new Blackjack Black Market that we got last week on PS4. Now, another part of this patch is coming tomorrow on November 21st. We are going to be getting something called a quad feed event. Now, this is going to start at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and get ready to play, because what this is going to do is give you double XP in multiplayer in zombies, is going to give you 2-time merits in Blackout, is going to give you a 2x tier boost, which is for your black market items in MP and Blackout, and finally 2x Nebulum Plasma in zombies. So get ready to play some Black Ops 4 this weekend. And not to mention that this is actually going to go on not just for the weekend, but for 5 days, starting Wednesday and going till November 26th. Now, aside from this, some new things that they added in, or some things that are staying, are different game modes. First of all, the new featured playlist is TDM 100. What this is a game of team deathmatch that goes up to 100 instead of 75, which will be nice for those of you who like longer games. On top of this, some other playlists that are added to the featured playlist are Mercenary Mosh Pit, which includes Team Deathmatch, Kill Confirmed, Hardpoint, Domination, and of course with that there is no parties allowed. Also, on top of that, Hardcore Mercenary Mosh Pit will also be in that featured category. On top of that, Gun Game remains featured, and finally Endurance Chaos Mosh Pit. So aside from those things being added, the main part of the game that's being changed in this update is stability fixes. So it's going to fix things with certain challenges, game modes, game crashes, and anything like that. But on top of that, there are two other things, and they are going to be the bulk of this video. First of all, changes to score streaks, and then a change to a couple of weapons. And we're going to talk for the bulk of this video about the changes to the score streaks, because personally, I don't like the changes that they made. So the first changes we have to score streaks have to do with the care package. So the first thing that's really important is increase the entry and exit speeds for the delivery chopper. That's good. It means that the actual care package will be delivered to you faster. Makes it a little bit more viable of a score streaks. On top of that, reduced how often high-end score streaks can be received in care packages. In other words, you're going to get a lot more UAVs, a lot more RC cars, a lot more dart drones, and things like attack choppers, gunships, snipers' nests are going to be much more rare in care packages. And the problem with that is that they didn't reduce the actual cost of the care package. So it costs the same amount of score as before, but the chances of getting a good score streak are much less, which I already didn't use care packages in Black Ops 4, but this just deters me from using them that much more. Now, those are the two important changes to care packages. Moving on to the next score streaks. So after this, the only big changes to score streaks that they have made is to the actual cost. For example, the dart drone was reduced from 500 score to 450. This is one of the few changes that I actually think is a good thing. As far as I'm concerned, the dart just isn't very good in Black Ops 4. It's easy to shoot down, and basically you can only kill one person. On top of that, the explosion isn't very big, and sometimes it doesn't even kill people. Up next, we have the RC car. It is getting increased from 450 to 500. I'm kind of indifferent about this one. I don't really use the RC car. On top of that, I know a lot of people find it annoying, but personally, I find this one really easy to shoot down in Black Ops 4. Pretty much easier than any other Call of Duty game. After this, we have Lightning Strike. This one is reduced from 900 to 850. Personally, I believe this one should be 800 or 750. I just don't find it very good in this game. After that, we have Sentry. It is getting reduced from 950 to 900. This is another one that I agree with. I think the Sentry is good, but not quite worth 950 score. 900 makes it a little bit more reasonable. After this, we have Hellstorm. It is getting increased by a full 100 from 850 to 950. Personally, I think this is too much. I already thought 850 was a little high for the Hellstorm. I know it's a better score streak than it was in previous games, but still, that cost is pretty damn steep. After this, we have Sniper's Nest. Its cost is reduced from 1100 to 1050. A little bit easier to get, and personally, I think this is a welcome change. Now, the Mantis is increased from 1050 to 1100. Once again, I don't see why this needed to be changed. I didn't think the Mantis was that annoying or overused, so I don't know why they're changing that. I think it's a little silly. Similarly, the Thresher is getting reduced from 1250 to 1200. Once again, I think this one should be reduced more. I just don't get a lot of kills with it when I get it, especially for being costing 1200 score. Then after this, another one that I really strongly disagree with, the Attack Chopper is getting increased from 1200 to 1300. To give you an idea of how ridiculous this is, I know it's a bit better in this game than previous games, but the Attack Chopper in older Call of Duty games cost 7 kills in Team Deathmatch. In this game, it costs 13 kills. I get that it should cost more, but not double of what it used to be. That's just a little bit too much. But then in my opinion, the most ridiculous change in this entire patch is they reduced the score given by all score streak kills from 25 to 10. Personally, there's no reason for this. Score streaks are already hard enough to get in this game. They're not impossible, I get that, but they're not easy. And by doing this, making it harder to get score streaks and harder for your score streaks to build, in my opinion, is just ridiculous and not a welcome change at all. Treyarch, if you are listening, please change that back to what it used to be. I think it worked great at 25 score. I don't think it needs to be any more, any less, but this change is silly. So overall, I have to say, I don't know why they wanted to change these score streaks. I didn't think they were that ridiculous before. A couple of the changes do make sense to me, especially some of them that they reduced the score. But all in all, I don't understand why they did this. I thought it was fine before, but I'm curious what you think. If you like these changes, if you dislike them, feel free to let me know down in the comments. I'm curious what you have to say. So after this, we have 2 weapon changes, and they are actually both the burst action weapons in game. So the first is the Swordfish, and the thing that they changed on this one is they reduced the upward recoil to achieve a more accurate burst. So they reduced the recoil. In other words, they gave it a buff. This one I was kind of surprised with. I already thought the Swordfish was good, especially with Pentaburst. Now it's going to be that much easier to control that aim and get 1 burst kills. So, in other words, a pretty big buff for the Swordfish. After this, the ABR-223 got a really big buff. So, slightly reduced the upward recoil, so similar to the Swordfish. And they extended the 4-hit kill range from 25 meters to 32 meters. So once again, a pretty big buff for the ABR there. So both of those weapons are going to be much better. Personally, I think the ABR needed a little bit of a buff, so I think that's good. But the Swordfish was already pretty damn good, especially with the Operator mod, in my opinion. Now, the final thing we have to talk about is by far the most controversial thing of the video. In my opinion, Treyarch or Activision kind of screwed this one up for a bit. So they introduced a new special order today. It's called the Fall Firearms. And for the first time ever, you are able to spend money and buy COD points and then purchase actual weapon variants, aka signature weapons in this game. And in this Fall Firearms, there are 2 weapon variants available. The first of which is the Divine Justice for the Strife, and finally, the Street for the Maddox. So first of all, I have to start out by saying I don't mind this. I don't think it's the worst thing in the world that you can just spend your money and get exactly what you want instead of it being randomized like in Black Ops 3. However, there are 2 massive things I hate about this. The first of which is that it costs 2,000 COD points for 2 signature weapons. That is equivalent to about $20 American, which is, in my opinion, is absolutely nuts. On top of that, these 2 weapons that were added, the first of which was a pre-order bonus if you pre-ordered through GameStop, and the second one, the Street, they added to people's accounts by accident a week ago, 100% free, and then just took them away and is now costing $20. So I think they kind of screwed up here. I think, first of all, for $20, you should be getting way more than just 2 signature weapons. Yes, the signature weapons are cool. Yes, I want to get them. $20 is just way too expensive in my opinion. The other thing is the 2 weapons that people already had are the ones that they put in here. And I think that's almost just like a slap in the face. So to be quite honest with you, I'm really not looking forward to see how they implement these signature weapons going forward. There's already a problem going on with duplicates in the reserve system, in the actual tier system. So really, they're not pushing in the right direction here. But this is where I leave it up to you guys. I'm curious to hear what you guys have to say about this update. Personally, I'm not loving it. I don't love the score streak changes. The weapon changes I think are alright. The Swordfish one kind of surprised me a little. But for the rest of that, the ABR I think needed a little bit of a buff, so that's okay. And then as far as these fall firearms go, I think they're going a little bit crazy because, like I said, too expensive and 2 weapons people already had and then one of them was taken away. So, like I said, I'm curious what you guys have to say. Let me know down in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, I'd really appreciate it if you could hit that like button. It really does help out the channel. Also, if you like what you see here, want to stay up to date on all my videos, the best way to do so is make sure you hit that subscribe button and have notifications turned on. But guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, peace out.
Paradigm.